associate with devotees, and even for a short time, Matra Sadhu Sangha, a very short time, one can actually, by this association, can get this inspiration. He gave the example from his own life. We know when he met Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj, Prabhupada, 1922 in Calcutta, how it completely changed his life. And just by a short he accepted him as his guru, and he got a life mission. And nothing was the same after that. So, yesterday we spoke about Hiranyakashipu, and he is, it's interesting how he also understood so deeply the importance of association. And he speaks to Prahlad Maharaj that association, it's just like the reflection in a crystal stone. So if you have a crystal stone, whatever we put in front of the crystal stone, it will reflect in the stone. Like if you have this reddish color here, so if you have the stone here immediately, the reflection is there. So our consciousness is like the crystal stone. And whatever we are put in front of us, whatever we associate with, it will reflect in us. So association is extremely important. And Hiranyakashipu, he understood that. And he wanted his son to be a good asura, a good demon. So he wanted the best association for that. So as devotees, we know if we can associate with sadhus, those with saintly qualities, that's most beneficial. It's also explained in Srimad Bhagavatam about the qualities of a sadhu. Titikshava, Karunika, Suridas Sarvadenam, Ayatra Shatrava Shanta, Sadava Sadabhushanam. So the first quality of a sadhu is Titikshava. He is merciful. No, tolerant. Tolerant. The first is Titikshava, tolerant. Karunika, that's merciful. So tolerant and merciful, that's characteristic of a sadhu. So tolerance, Krishna describes about this in Bhagavad Gita in many places, the importance of being tolerant. Maybe you heard from Krishna in the second chapter, 14th verse, he says, Matra sparshas tu konteya, shitusna sukha dukaya, agama payonityas, tamsatikshvasva bharata. He explains about in this material world, everything is constantly changing. And so we have to tolerate external circumstances. So Krishna says as a non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress. And their disappearance in due course of time are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer season. And they, Krishna says, they arise from sense perception. And one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Like now it's hot weather, and soon there is cold weather, and or we like fame or infamy, and these dualities of this material world, we have to tolerate. Krishna, our Prabhupada, he says in the Krishna book, he speaks about greatness. What is actually greatness? And he says that one's greatness has to be estimated according to one's ability to tolerate provoking situations. So I say it again, one's greatness has to be estimated according to one's ability to tolerate provoking situations. So we are all facing provoking situations, isn't it? Many times in the past, and at the present moment also in different degrees, we are facing provoking situations, and we can know for sure in the future many provoking situations will be there. So one's greatness has to be estimated, Prabhupada says, according to one's ability to tolerate this provoking situation. One doesn't have to take them so seriously, because they're coming and going. So the tendency is there, when there is maybe some great distress, that we think this distressful situation, it will continue, it will always be like this. But it's not like that. It changes. And the opposite, if there is a time for jubilation, it just feels so good. We are very, very happy. So that will also turn around. And so one's greatness means to have to tolerate these ups and downs. Don't take it so seriously. And so that's sadhu sangha, to associate with certain saintly persons. And I think we also all have experienced, like if you have a screen, mobile phone or whatever, and whatever we associate with there, how it will affect our thinking, feeling and willing very much, even shortly, few seconds, how it affects our consciousness. I can just tell one experience I had the other day. I saw Vaisheshika Prabhu for a few seconds. Vaisheshika Prabhu, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, very wonderful Vaishnava. And so what I saw in this short clip, I could see his seriousness and his purity, his dedication to Prabhupada. It just affected me. I become inspired. Short moment, association like that. And on the opposite, if we associate with something which is not important, or something which is nonsense, it so easily happens when we have a screen. Just something shows up there and it's like it attracts our mind, and then we waste some time there. And how it will affect us. So association is very important. There is also one saying, whatever we feed the mind, it becomes. So we have a choice here, what we want to feed the mind. So whatever we feed the mind, it becomes. So sometimes we have problems with our minds. I guess we all struggle with that. And but if we are also responsible for what we are feeding our minds, because that's what it becomes. So this is something practical in our lives we can take into consideration, just being very aware in all situations in our lives about association and whatever we are choosing to associate with. So sadhu sangha, that's the first thing, very important for our progress. And nama kirtan, chanting of the holy name, because it's yoga dharma. So there are, as we know, different ages, and in all different Satya Yuga, Dvapara Yuga, no, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dvapara Yuga and Kali Yuga, the 4 ages. So they have all different specific kind of practices, yoga practices for attaining perfection. And so we have the 4 ages, and in Kali Yuga, it's the Yoga Dharma is Nama Sankirtan. Lord Chaitanya, he says, Tara Madhya Sarva Shrestha Nama Sankirtan Niraparade Nama Laire Paya Premadan. That in of the 9 processes of devotional service, the most important is Nama Sankirtan. And Niraparade, if one chants the holy name without offenses, Paya Premadan, one can easily attain Krishna Prem. If one can avoid the offenses. So, and also Lord Chaitanya says, Nama Vino Kale Kale Nahi Aradharma Sarva Mantra Saranam Eshastra Marma. That in this age of Kali, Nahi Aradharma, there is no other dharma, there is no other religious principle than chanting of the holy name. And this is Sara mantra. It's a Sara means the essence of all the Vedic hymns, of all the Vedic mantras. A Shastra Marma. Marma means it's a purport of all the Shastras, of all the scriptures. So there are so many shlokas, so many verses describing about this is the most important activity in Kali Yuga. So chanting the holy name, Nama Kirtan, and we can see that I think we all have experienced that when we chanting more sincerely, sometimes we get the inspiration, or we see the necessity of more taking shelter of the holy name. So we can immediately feel the difference in our japa when we're chanting. If we just take it a little more seriously and understand that this is my real shelter, or in kirtan, so we don't have to wait long for the result or the effect. Very quickly we can see how it actually lifts us up. It purifies our consciousness. So it's very practical. So by good association and by hearing about the importance of the holy name, it can motivate us to take more shelter. So we have to take shelter. Everyone is naturally taking shelter of something, but here is what the most important to take shelter of, that's Krishna. And Krishna is not different from his name. It's actually the incarnation of Krishna. Kali, Kale Nama Rupa Krishna Avatar. Nama Haita Haya Sarva Jagat Nishtar. That in this age of Kali, the chanting of the holy name is the incarnation of Lord Krishna. This is how Krishna appears. It's the incarnation of Lord Krishna. And simply by chanting, it's described, one associates with the Lord directly. And anyone who does this is certainly delivered. So it's a great opportunity every day, or we can say every mantra we have this choice. Should I seek shelter seriously, or I'm also absent-minded? So this is always something very practical. We are faced with this choice. So one could see when Srila Prabhupada was chanting, how seriously he was chanting, like in Tompkins Square Park in New York, when they went out for these first kirtans in 1965-66, and Prabhupada was sitting down with the first devotees on a carpet in the park, and Prabhupada had this little bongo drum, and they were chanting Hare Krishna. One could see how seriously Prabhupada chanted, or when he was chanting japa, crying, praying from the heart, and praying for them who were passing by, praying for those who were present, that they will get special mercy, that they will make progress in Krishna consciousness. So this crying for others' welfare, that is also, one can say, a secret for attaining Krishna's mercy. Not only it's about me, but how can I also think about others' welfare? And then Bhagavata Shravanam, We spoke about Sadhusanga, Namakirtan, and Bhagavata Shravanam. That's the third thing that is very important, and that's hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's explained in Srimad Bhagavatam that Srimad Bhagavatam is the incarnation of the Lord. Also, as the holy name is incarnation, so also Srimad Bhagavatam is the incarnation. And it's compiled, it's explained by Srila Vyasadeva, who is the incarnation of the Lord. And it's meant for the welfare of all living beings, for the good of everyone, the Srimad Bhagavatam. And it's all auspicious, it's all blissful, and it's all perfect. This is Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada said there is no literature in the entire universe as a Srimad Bhagavatam. It's about pure devotional service. That's the essence of religion. We say there are so many religious paths, but this is the essence of all religions, pure devotional service. So, actually in the first chapter of Bhagavatam, there is 1.123. It ends the first chapter. So Shaunaka Rishi asks these questions about now Krishna has left this world, so he says, Bruhi Yogeshware Krishna Brahmanye Dharma Varmane Svam Kashtam Adunopete Dharmakam Sharanam Gata. So he says like this: since Sri Krishna, the absolute truth, the master of all mystics, Yoga Ishvara, has departed for his own abode, please tell us to whom the religious principles have now gone for shelter. So we can just imagine the emptiness after Krishna left. So this question was most relevant. Since he has left, where have the religious principles now gone for shelter? And so this question was asked by Shaunaka Rishi to Sutta Goswami in the first chapter. And in the third chapter of Bhagavatam, Sutta Goswami answers this question. Krishna svadam upagate dharma jnana divisaha kalo nashtam drishamesha puranarko danodita. This sound from the street here, it reminds me a little about, you hear lectures of Prabhupada at the 26th Avenue, 1966. It was also sometimes, hot summer days, and they had to have the door open. And I remember in one lecture you heard this siren and the heavy traffic outside the door that they had to tolerate. It just came to my mind. So in this shloka, it says that this Bhagavatam, this Bhagavad Purana, is as brilliant as the sun. Puranarka means is brilliant as the sun, this Srimad Bhagavatam. So the sun is the most brilliant thing we have experience of. Everything we see which has light, like we have lamps here, so many lamps are there, they are all reflections from the sun. So Srimad Bhagavatam is as brilliant, Puranarka, as the sun, the most brilliant light. It's explained that the sun is the eye of Krishna. So this Bhagavad Purana is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. And then This reminds us about the material world. Everything seems fine, and then might be some accident here now.
Some
shooting, whatever. And it seems like it's so nice and peaceful, and then suddenly everything just changes. Alarm, alarm, alarm. So this is the material world. It just come to my mind in Srimad Bhagavatam. There is this analogy about the deer who is in the very beautiful garden. And so the deer has his family there, and it's such a beautiful day, like today, beautiful summer day, and so the birds are singing and the bees are humming around, and beautiful flowers, nice smelling like that. But it's explained in Bhagavatam that he doesn't know that behind the bushes there is a hunter, and with sharp arrows, just waiting for killing the deer. And he doesn't know on the other side there is a tiger waiting in the bushes to jump on the deer. So it seems like, oh, it's so wonderful, it's so peaceful, I'm in such a comfortable, happy situation, and here's my family, and everything it's enjoyable. And then actually this tiger, I remember it's the time factor. The time is ticking, 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 and so everything will be taken away. So it just came to my mind then when we speak about how fragile everything is in this material world, and how everything can change at any moment, any second. That's why we should take Krishna consciousness seriously. It's not like just some religious function. It's about life. It's about life and death. And to see reality as it is, and to not waste time. To utilize the time in the best possible way for be able to meet death in Krishna consciousness. So here in this shloka, I read the whole shloka again, and then the last part. This Bhagavad Purana is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. Persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness in this Iron Age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. So Bhagavad Purana, Srimad Bhagavatam, is meant to give the light, the guidance. And persons who have lost their vision due to this dense darkness, which is there in Kali Yuga, they should get light from this Purana. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the incarnation of the Lord, just as the holy name. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavata Shravanam Mathura Vasa, to live in Mathura or in a holy place. So this is of course not possible always for us to live in a holy place where the Lord has had his pastimes, but it's wonderful because we can also create a holy place by engaging in these 5 activities. If we, for instance, if we invite to our home sadhus, or like here now we have sadhus, so we come together and we associate with sadhus, it actually becomes a holy place. And if we also then chanting Hare Krishna, chanting the holy name, and hearing from the scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam, it becomes a holy place. And we will soon speak about the last of the 5, that's worshipping the Murti with faith and love and devotion. So to create a holy place in Kali Yuga, it's not so difficult. In our homes, in a practical way, we can make it a tirtha. We can make it into a holy place. And so that's a great opportunity. As here we see decoration with flowers and whatever is possible. One may not have Archa Vigraha Murtis as we have here, but one can also have pictures. Srila Prabhupada, when he was a householder, one of his god brothers spoke about how he used to visit Prabhupada as a householder. And Prabhupada was so generous. So when they were out preaching, this god brother is told about, sometimes late in night, they had different preaching engagements. And Prabhupada said, you can always come to my home, even if it's late. He was so generous. So sometimes they came very late, and Prabhupada, he offered his own bedroom to them, and he slept on, I think, out in the living room on the floor. And then he was up before everyone else, and he was worshipping the pictures. He didn't want to have murtis, deities, because what I heard, the standard at home was not really up to date. His wife was not so engaged in the practice of devotional service, but Prabhupada worshipped the pictures, and that's completely fine. One doesn't have to have Archa Vigraha. One can also have pictures. And Prabhupada worshipped them. So in this way it becomes a holy place. And Prabhupada was also cooking breakfast for everyone in the morning, serving them. And then he had his business. So it's just wonderful to hear about the character of Prabhupada as a householder. He was so humble and service-minded, and always wanted the association of the devotees. Wanted to please devotees, serve the devotees. So make a holy place, invite sadhus to our homes. So that we can do, it's not very complicated. And Prabhupada also explained about if you want to make family life happy, you sit down with the family members, preferably morning and evening, maybe not always possible, both morning and evening, but maybe evening. Sit down with the family members, chant Hare Krishna together, offer the food, so that will make the family life happy. Krishna is in the center. And then to worship the deity with or the pictures with love and devotion. So these 5 items are so powerful. So it will it will change our life completely if we take shelter of them. It's a question of the also quality in how we're doing it. But these 5 things are there, and the more we take shelter of them, surrender to them, we can see how powerful it is. It's explained also by Rupa Goswami that the power of these 5 principles, he said, is very wonderful and difficult to understand. And one even without faith in them, one who is practicing this without offenses can awaken his love for the Lord just by being a little connected with them. Rupa Goswami, he says like that. But just be a little connected with them, these five. One who is practicing without offenses, he can awaken his dormant love of Krishna. So it's a wonderful opportunity. So Kali Yuga is, as it's explained, dosha nidhi, it's an ocean of fault, an ocean of problems. But there is one very good quality that simply by chanting the holy name one can attain perfection. There is one last shloka I could just, it comes to my mind about Kali Yuga, because usually we see Kali Yuga as something negative, but there is one shloka which is describing actually it's a very great opportunity in Kali Yuga. So it's explained that sadhavaha, that those who are advanced and highly qualified, and sara bhaginaha, and are interested in the essence of life, they guna gyaha, they know the good qualities of Kali Yuga. It's also something very good here, and so it's explained that such persons worship the H.O. Kali. They worship the H.O. Kali because they know that simply by taking shelter of the holy name one can attain perfection. So it's very positive. Although it seems to be very difficult and dark and in many regards, so but there is also such a wonderful opportunity for attaining perfection quickly. So thank you very much, Hare Krishna. Maybe you have any questions, any comments, thoughts, reflections.
So what kind of offenses we should avoid generally, or which are common that we do?
There are 10 offenses, the chanting of the holy name, and they are described in the scriptures, and Prabhupada, he emphasized that we should be aware of them. So, and so we can maybe not go through all of them now, but we should, one can mention also that Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that the root cause of all offenses is inattentiveness while chanting. So this is something we can be aware of, or I guess we are all struggling with that our minds are not present fully when we chanting the holy name. So that is an offense. But if we sincerely try to be present, then it's actually offenseless. Giriraj Maharaj once, he asked Prabhupada, because he had so many responsibilities, so much pressure on him. He was in charge of this Yuhu project in Bombay. It was so dear to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada gave him so many responsibilities and so much anxiety coming naturally on Giriraj Maharaj, dealing with so many legal things and lawyers and envious people and so many challenges. So he asked Prabhupada, it's very difficult for me to chant and be hearing my rounds. Is this offensive? Namaparad, as it's called. And then Prabhupada, he asked him a question, and he said, do you try to hear? Are you endeavoring sincerely to hear? And Giraj Maharaj, he thought for some short time, and then he said, yes, I try. And then Prabhupada immediately answered, then it's not offensive. So that's like the cutting edge. What is Namaparad, and as we called the clearing stage, Namaparad and Namabas. Namabas is the clearing stage. That's a cutting edge. It can be very helpful for us to remember. Do we sincerely try? Like if our minds is going somewhere else, it's happened all the time. So are we immediately, when we become aware of it, do we immediately try to again focus? So when we are very alert and just trying again and again and again, that is offenseless. So why it is the root cause of all offenses? Because this is something we're struggling with all the time when we're chanting, and if we are not taking up this process of surrendering, taking shelter, of trying our best to chant and hear, and then the tendency is that we easily also start to make other offenses. So that's why it's a root cause, because it's in a very practical way, it cleanses the heart, purifies the heart, and then we can more and more avoid the other offenses. So this is so practical, and in every mantra there is a challenge. Just try to hear, and try to hear with love and devotion, crying for the Lord. So it's actually a prayer. Satchidananda Swami, he many times says that the chanting of the holy name, our japa chanting of the holy name, it's not a ritual, it's a relationship. So Krishna is not different from his name, so it's a relationship. It's not a ritual. So sometimes we become ritualistic, and we are not there fully with our heart, but one is doing something which is supposed to be done. So that's always a danger in spiritual practices. But in devotional service, in Bhakti Yoga, the more we are present with our heart, with love and devotion, so then we can avoid the root cause of all offenses. What do you think about this?
And the next one, from all these 10, which one, next one is the most offensive?
Well, it's this to blaspheme the devotees, to, we can say, hurt devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating, chanting the holy name. So this is so easily happened that we become, because we are somehow ourselves disturbed, somehow there is an imbalance in our life, and we find fault in others, and we become disturbed by others. It so easily happens. But by chanting attentively of this, and we become more purified in the heart, the practical effect we can see that we start to see the good qualities in others. We don't see the bad things. There is no. Sometimes we think, oh, I'm so maybe intelligent. I can see. I find the fault. I can judge others and like that. But it's not a sign of intelligence. It's actually unfortunate. So the more we become purified, we instead We see, of course, we don't become naive, ignorant, we see things as they are, but we don't pay attention to them if it's not directly needed for the service. We see the good things. So this is a sign of that we are making progress. That we can more and more give up the fault-finding mentality. And naturally, if we find faults and like that, so easily it happens, we make offenses. And then our progress is in different degrees, it's diminishing or becoming blocked. We become stuck. So we should, and of course also to counteract that is to serve the devotees. Because by serving devotees, we start to appreciate devotees. So this enviousness in our heart, which is naturally there in the material world, it means I'm the center, and I want to enjoy, and actually I want this respect, I want this position, I want this sense gratification for me, for myself. And in this way we make offenses because it's unnatural. It's not our position at all. We are servants. And just by serving others in a practical way, trying in a practical way please the devotees, serve the devotees, then we can start to see the good qualities in others.
But can we forgive somebody that has made something wrong? A good devotee, a very intelligent devotee and everything, has done something wrong, and then, can we forgive and be friends or whatever? Or should we just close the door?
So if there's some friction between two devotees, so the best of course is that one try to clear it out, and one should also be honest with what I have experienced here in this situation, and hear from the others, getting their response, their feedback. And generally if the devotees are sincere and they are afraid of making offensive, they want to clear things out, so generally it can be cleared out easily.
But I mean heavy offenses from devotees in the past.
Could you give an example?
Maybe I cannot talk about it right
No.
now here. We had somebody here that we all like and love. She's gone.
So in this case one can pray for those devotees which has becoming bewildered, becoming influenced in different ways by the looser energy, and so pray for them. That's very powerful. And by praying for them, it's also Krishna appreciates our attitude to be a well-wisher. If we are well-wishers, although that person might hurt us and give him pain to us, but if we pray for that person, that person should get special mercy by the Lord, then Krishna is pleased, and that person will be benefited by that prayer, and Krishna will be pleased with our attitude. So it's like win-win.
Unfortunately for me, the majority majority of meetings at home happen with non-devotees. Is there a way to make these kind of meetings more spiritualized or more elevated?
Can you say it again? In your home, if you invite person.
We're talking about meetings with devotees, which make it sacred, like something place, you know. And I'm telling that in my life, for example, there's less devotees. And so is there a way when someone visits my home, so maybe we engage in some way so they spiritualize or I don't know.
Well, you can always offer them prasadam. That's Prabhupada said prasadam distribution is our secret weapon. So if you invite non-devotees to your home, so you can always offer them prasadam. Like we in our home, relatives comes and others come sometimes, and we always offer them prasadam. So then it becomes very meaningful. Be giving them Krishna consciousness in the form of prasadam. So prasadam should always be there when we are dealing with others, and especially if they come to our home, it's so easy to give them. We have something we prepared that we offered to Krishna. We can give them prasadam, and they get so much benefit from that. Like Prabhupada, he always showed that example when people came for programs. So Prabhupada was giving lecture, and he saw sometimes someone was leaving before the end. So he always pointed out, please give him prasadam, give her prasadam. So he was always very eager that they should get that mercy. So we can also develop that mentality, and not only in our homes, but also if you can, when whatever we do outside, in our work, or if you are in school, or whenever it's possible, we can also bring some prasadam. And that's very pleasing to Krishna. We become very much protected by thinking about how can we benefit others through prasadam distribution. And we are engaged in a very meaningful way. What do you think about this?
It's a good idea.
It's very practical. Something else?
But when you go to schools and preach, do you make prasadam at home then?
I always have prasadam with me.
Yeah.
My good wife made prasadam for years.
So
And
like 100 cookies or
Small.
I have this.
smaller?
Very small. Because many students.
So I have a jar
Yeah.
with prasadam. I'm chanting the holy name, and in the end I have prasadam, and I offer them also. I have a Shastradan book. Shastradan means that it's books that is already paid from people who want to sponsor. So I have books I offer the students, the teachers. They can take a book, not only take them and throw them away, but for those who are serious, they want to know something more, they can take prasadam, they can take a book.
So how many books do you carry when you travel around?
Well, I usually go just one day
Okay.
and come back. So I
And usually it's these small books.
Yeah.
get small books.
Yeah.
So maybe 50 books, 60 books I can carry with me. I have a trolley. Some last question, reflection, thoughts? So, thank you very much, Hare Krishna. So next part is we sing now Nishinga Pranam or Arti.
It's all together for wonderful and for being here today for Mukunda program. Let's come together.
Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki. Siva Kesha, du gör arti?
Ska jag göra art?
Mm.
Jag vet inte om jag har inte ens svaret på det.
Det är okej. So we stand up or?
Yeah. You want to bring the article, please?
Yeah, you will take it away.